Goals are important in football, and while we all want to score these tiki-taka PlayStation goals, you shouldn't ignore the importance of crossing.
And actually, if you're really good at crossing, you're gonna pose a threat every time you're in or around the box. So today, we're gonna teach you 3 different types of crosses that you can use in different situations. And of course, we're also gonna look at how and when you can do them. First up, we have the standard cross, like this, which is the most commonly used in-swinging curve cross that you're gonna see put in with a lot of power, a little bit of swerve, and also, if you're very good at it, a tiny amount of dip. And the good thing about this cross is that the striker basically only has to run straight into it to either head it or shoot it to create a very dangerous chance. Now, you can also use this type of cross all around the pitch on both flanks, either swinging out or swinging in. You can do it from deep if you have a serious amount of whip pitch in your technique, or you can simply do it from around the box. But what you need to remember here is that before you make the cross, you need to look up and see where the striker is going, so you can basically put it a little bit in front of him, again, so he can run into it, doesn't have to stop and track backwards, and that's all gonna be a mess. And also, try to see if you can get it past the first defender, but out of the keeper's reach, because then it's gonna be absolutely terrible to deal with for the defenders. The technique itself is actually rather simple, but it's gonna take a lot of practice to perfect. But here you basically want to hit the ball on the lower part of your instep, and you want to hit the ball on the side that's a little closer to you, just below the middle. Because here you then want to make sure that your foot goes across the ball and moves in a slight upward trajectory, because after the ball has been released for the foot, you want to move it up and then stop it to make sure that not only do you generate some spin on the ball, making it dangerous, but you also get that dreaded dip for the defenders. And then, of course, you need to make sure that your body is over the ball so you don't sky it. If you're me, that happens quite a lot. And then also, I like to set down my plant foot, pointing 45 degrees-ish away from where I want to hit it. And then it's basically just about making sure that you deliver the cross at the right place at the right time, so your striker can run into it and score an easy tap-in. And the only way to do this is practice. So bring a couple of friends, have them make runs into the box, and then just start whipping them in. Next up, we have the floater, which is a different technique you can use to create a whole lot of chaos in the box if you have a lot of people in there, especially if you have a big fella up top as your striker who's gonna absolutely kill it in the air. Now, the floater is basically a high lofted ball with a whole lot of hang time, meaning that whoever wins the physical tussle or who jumps the highest is gonna win the header and have a free chance on goal. And if you only have a striker or 2 running into the box, you shouldn't really do it, because it gives the keeper a lot of space and time to come out and claim the ball or box it away. But if you have people in there, it's gonna be crowded, it's gonna be chaotic, he's gonna be a bit more likely to play it safe and stay on his line, meaning that your beast up top is gonna win the header. The technique for this one is actually also kind of simple, but it's different to the curve one, because we want this to go a bit more straight and we want it to drop. So here you want to angle your foot a little bit more down towards the instep, and then you want to get under the ball to generate a bit of a drop, but also to generate the backspin. So here you really want to hit the ball very low, and then once you've hit it, you want your foot to stop to really generate that backspin and the kind of chip effect. And the last thing you need to judge is how far you want the ball to go to figure out if you need to put some power on it or if you just need it to fly. The last alternative is the driven low cross, which is particularly useful if you are close to the goal line, because here you have 2 options. You can simply just smash it across the goal and hope for the best, or you can drive it backwards diagonally and set your teammates up for a very, very easy chance. Because the thing is that if your striker is being marked by the defender and they're moving towards the goal, they're going to try and close down the space between themselves and the keeper, and often they're going to leave some space in behind them for your team to utilize. So if you do the cutback, you might set up your midfielder or even your opposite winger with a very, very easy chance. So when you get to the goal line, don't just blindly look down on the ball and hope for the best. Look up, see what the options are, and determine what kind of low cross you're gonna do. For this one, the technique is also important because obviously it's a low-driven cross, so you want to keep the ball low. So here it's very important that you keep your body over the ball when you strike it. You can do this in two ways. You can use the instep just like you do with a curve shot, but just hit it a little higher on the ball. Or you can try and do what I do normally, is that I hit it a little bit more high on the instep. I angle my foot a little bit so I can really get the power and the proper drive on the shot as well. Then it's just about angling your foot right, again about 45 degrees-ish, and then just create the chance. Of course, there are a million different ways of making a dangerous cross, but if you learn these 3 different types of crossing, you have some very deadly and highly effective tools that you can use from your locker in different situations. So don't forget to go out and practice a lot, and maybe also share some of your little tips on how to improve as a crosser in the comment section right down below, where you can also tell us what you want to learn next. After that, you should totally go and hit up the playlist right down there to see even more wicked skills and how to improve as a footballer in general. And then before you go out and watch other videos here on YouTube, make sure you've subscribed to the channel and hit the bell notifications button because you're really gonna do yourself a favor. And with that said, guys, I'm signing off. Cheerio.